outside, baby. Get through. In and out.
You got no scuppers also.
Yeah. I don't even have scuppers underneath the seat.
Oh, really?
I have poles, but I don't even have anything in them.
Well, sometimes you need those scuppers. They're there for a reason.
There it is. Good luck, guys. Tight line.
Good luck.
Alright guys, welcome back. We are here on Lake Santa Margarita. We are fishing the CVKF TOC here, and I think the last time I was here was last year when we fished the ABA TOC. So the water is completely different from what it was last year. It's basically a brand new lake. You know, the water is really high. There's a lot of vegetation. There's a lot of good looking pockets to fish. So, you know, we're just gonna run around and see what happens. We do got overcast and fog today. You know, the air temp is really low compared to the Central Valley. So, you know, you got coastal temperatures pretty much. But we're just gonna be out here and just hopefully grind out a limit and see what happens, right? There's one. It's long enough. Shoot. Is he gonna keep? He looked so much bigger when he hit it. He's a keeper though. Oh. At least I know they're biting the top water. So I could probably do this all day long. First keeper from Santa Margarita. Alright guys, first keeper day, 13 1/4. Me too. Good old Cavatron. Haven't whipped this bad boy out in a long time. That thing is squeaky. Alright guys, keeping it to 13 inches. Alright guys, number 3, 12 inches. Here we go. It's a better fish. Good old drop shot. I guess we're sitting here for the rest of the day. It's a good one. Probably 15 inches. Bluegill. Big one too. Come on. Only good fish. guys, number 5. Took a long time. Alright guys, number 5. Took a long time. That'll call a little 12-incher. It's a good 15. Alright guys, good call. 15 inches. That's a good one. That's gonna help quite a bit. This will be 17, hopefully. Finally, a better fish, 18 1/4. Might help. 14 1/2. There we go. The other one's gonna help. They're really biting right here at the end, huh? 18 right there. It's gonna help quite a bit. Alright guys, 18 inches. Another one that might help. They're biting now. Ah, he might not help me. Short, fat. 16.75, guys. Man, the bite was just so tough. And then all of a sudden, the bite just turned on. I was struggling pretty bad for a little bit, but now, oh man, let's start to chew. Just would really like a big one. But really, no complaints. You know, I just got my limit and called a few times, so pretty good day overall. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for CVKF TOC here on Lake Santa Margarita. You know, we had a pretty tough day today, and you know, we struggled throughout the day until the very end when the bite just kind of, the window just opened up and started getting bites, pretty much almost back-to-back casts. And you know, we fished the spot all morning long, and we only caught one fish off of it, and we got a total of 3 bites on it, and we caught 1 off of it. And then came back in the afternoon, and sure enough, they were biting. So after that, you know, we called up pretty much almost all our fish right there at the end, and you know, caught a decent bag. But you know, if the bite is good for me, most likely the bite is good for everybody else. So we'll see what happens, guys.
Oh, we gotta go around up there.
All right, so gonna talk a little bit about what I did going into this event at Lake Santa Margarita. You know, the last time I was here was last year. We fished ABA TOC, so I've been here one time in the past. You know, back then I went down south and I fished back in this bay. So this time I actually just wanted to check out the north end of the lake and see what that's like. So that's basically what we did. We ran up north. You know, I didn't do any research before going to this event, you know, so I just looked at the navionics on the drive up there, because I carpool with John, so they gave me a little bit of time to look at the map in the morning. And then of course, here's the mapping on the navionics app. It's a little bit more detailed than the mapping card that I have. I have an outdated mapping card, but as you can see, this is the bay I went and fished into. I saw that on navionics that it looked really good. And that's basically where I went and fished. The reason why I picked this particular spot, there's a lot of good looking areas on this lake, but this one really stood out to me because it's a very big bay. It has a lot of arms that are in it, a lot of pockets that can fish, and maybe bait fish get pushed in them. And it has access to deep water inside of there as well. You know, it's really close to the main lake. There's some main lake points on the outside you can fish if the inside of the bay doesn't work. And generally this time of year, the bays are pretty good. You know, there's a lot of bait activity inside of them. And during this day, there was a lot of bait fish in the channels in this bay. But I found that the fish that were chasing the bay were a lot of the juvenile fish that are maybe about 10 inches and stuff. But if you guys can see, this is where the main spot where I caught almost almost all my fish. There's an island right here, and then there's a high spot. It's a nice finger up here, and all in this area right here is where I was getting bites. Every time I came around this island, I would come around this way, come back out, and sit here and cast out this way. I'd catch them, but if I sat there too long, I'd stop getting bites. If you guys can see on my map, see my card's kind of outdated, but if I zoom in on it, see I'd fish this spot and I'd cast up and I'd move up, sit here and cast farther up, and then every now and then once I stopped getting bites, I'd come back around, sit here and remake the same cast, and every time I did that, I caught a fish or a few fishes. So basically that's what I did. I stayed in this area. It's a very large bay, so I can really pick apart this section because the lake is so big. There's so much good stuff to fish. So with no practice or whatever, you don't have much options to fish. You don't know where you're gonna go to get bit. So there's a lot of good spots you can fish inside here that has potential to have one fish at least. So basically what I did is I just made laps around in this bay. A lot of bait fish in the channel, but the majority of the fish that we caught were not on bait. They were just laying down in the dirt and just slowly creeping around in the grass. All right, so that is gonna be it for Lake Santa Margarita. We did come up in second place. Pretty good day of fishing overall. I struggled the entire day until the very end. Once the sun came out and the wind started blowing, those fish positioned right and they started biting. I kind of seen those fish in the morning when I caught my first one, but after I caught my first one, I didn't get any more. I got one more bite and it came off, and other than that, I didn't get any more bites after that. So I was kind of confused at the time because I wasn't sure if they were bass or crappie, because I did see a few and I threw to them, and they didn't react at all. So I kind of just left them alone. And then at the end of the day, I came back and I kept checking on them throughout the day, and they didn't bite till the very end. Once that sun was really high up there and the wind was blowing, they were chewing. So we kind of just left them biting. They were still biting when we left, so we left them biting, and just did not want to be late back to the ramp because there's no service on the lake. So we had to load up and get to an area where we can submit our fish in time before the deadline. The baits that did do the damage for us today was the drop shot, both in the bold bluegill and the margarita mutilator, and the owner's flashy swimmer. I caught probably my biggest fish on that. I caught a couple, have quite a bit of bites on that. It's just I threw the chatterbait and I threw the spinnerbait, and I felt like it was just too much for these fish. It was just kind of overpowering. I felt like these fish did not want that. They were very pressured fish, and I noticed a lot of these fish I've caught, they were really beat up. The lips and the jaws are all busted up. These look like tournament release fish. So I think that chatterbait and the spinnerbait was just too much thump for them. So I went with that flashy swimmer, and it got me a lot of bites. And if I didn't catch fish on it, they would at least come up and bump it. So it kind of gives me kind of lets me know that there's more fish in that general area. So I stayed in areas longer, or I came back to the same area more often. So other than that, at first I thought it was gonna be a really good topwater bite, and because of the overcast, and we got a little bit of fog on the water, cooling temperatures, you'd think the fall transition you'd get a lot of topwater bites. But after the event, I talked to other guys, and they heard that the bite's getting tougher and tougher. Some of the locals are saying that the bite was dropping off, and the fishing just got tougher. And when I looked at the bank, it looked like the water was dropping. So it looks like they're dropping water or something. So that may play a big role in the bite or whatever it is. But other than that, we came up second place. Can't complain at all. Just had a good time fishing and hanging out with the guys out there. So once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.